This is episode 3 of How Does She Do It? I'm Emily and this is Molly.
Hi, and we are going to be talking about time blocking and setting a schedule, not only for you as a mom, but your kids too. We can definitely get our kids involved in this, and we're going to tell you how we do that in our everyday life.
Yep, and more.
Yeah.
We tend to go off onto other little tangents, but we will be talking about calendars today. And the reason we wanted to talk about this is our calendars were so full this week. It was just ridiculous. And I found myself needing help. I mean, we always need that support system, but I feel like I could have scheduled a little bit better than what I normally do. But I felt so overwhelmed with so much that I had going on that I was like, okay, if I go over just a little bit, it'll be fine. And it wasn't fine because then I had to ask other people to pick up my kids or, not that it's a bad thing, but I had to ask my husband to worry about dinner, and because I had no idea. I'm like, I'm late to dinner. Y'all can eat without me. What that looks like, I don't know.
Yeah, because there are weeks, and I'm not going to say that I time block my dinner schedule every single week. Okay, I create a menu. Yes. The people who know me are laughing at this video right now.
Yes.
I do create a menu, but I don't always follow it word for word because I don't always time block. If you look at my calendar, it doesn't say dinner at 6 o'clock, but there are weeks that it does. And it's because of that. If you're so busy and you're worried about whether you're even going to be able to eat, and you have little kids at home that obviously have to eat. If you go without dinner, fine. But if they go without, now you're a bad parent. So
yeah, but don't. Sometimes that happens too. Snacks for dinner?
Chips, it's fine.
Yeah.
So learning to plan your week, know what's coming up, and then figure out if you need to time block those little things. Because even if your kids have to be picked up at 3 o'clock and you schedule an hour appointment at 2, you're probably not going to make it on time,
Yeah. Oh,
so
guilty.
Yes.
Gosh.
Learning how to block out that time and even give yourself time for driving and whatever else. It's so important, especially with a family when you're not always.
I don't know how to put this on Do Not Disturb. So sorry, everybody.
Especially with a family, as a mom, you are not planning only your schedule. You're doing your kids. And if you have, 2 plus, 1, even if that's a whole other schedule that you have to make for somebody else. And then you have to figure out, when is your husband going to work? When is he coming home? When can he eat with the family so you can all be together? And it's just a lot. So.
It is. And I just want to say, we don't make fun of you because we think it's funny. We make fun of you because we're jealous. I wish I was more like that, where I will meal plan 1 week out of the month and then I'm exhausted from it. And I'm like,
oh my gosh,
you know what?
It's Thursday through Saturday, I don't know which day, one of those days. I sit down and I bet it's an hour and I sit there and I have my little whiteboard and I write down every day, what we're going to have. And if we don't have it that night, because life happens, and we just move it to the next night or next week or whatever. But I can't. I don't know how y'all go to the grocery store and just no list in hand.
You want to know how?
That's insane to me.
I just have 2 meals in my mind. That's it. I'm like, if I could just get 2 meals made this week, that's a win in my book. So I know they're meals that I've already made time and time again. So I just know what to grab. And then I grab the essential snacks and coffee and drinks and good. And then after the 2-day mark, after I made those 2 meals, I'm like, shit, I need to go to the grocery store again because I don't have anything for dinner tonight. Yes. And then we end up ordering out,
And that drives me insane more than anything. And half the time I make this, I spend a whole hour and I make this menu and all of these things. And then I still forget things. And my husband's like, how is this even a problem right now? And I'm like, you know what? You got this. It sounds like.
Yeah. Oh, so you're picking up the sour cream?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah. So it is. It's a lot. It's so hard to plan all of your meals every single day and handle your kids' lives. So.
You know what makes it easier though? Having Walmart Plus.
Yes. Walmart
Amazon
Plus.
Delivery.
Not a sponsor, but we love it.
But we love it because it makes our lives so much easier. And I just got on the Walmart Plus couple weeks ago.
It's so awesome.
Yeah.
I actually canceled my Costco membership and got Walmart Plus, like swapped them out. And actually, I think Walmart Plus is probably more expensive.
Not by a whole lot.
Yeah, not by a lot,
Yeah.
but you get free delivery on pretty much anything. You get to order as much as you want or as little as you want.
And it can be same day.
Yes. And there's gas points and blah, blah. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I just can't tell you enough. It's
Walmart,
so awesome.
if you want to be sponsored, you just let us know. But it is amazing. I've enjoyed it thoroughly the past couple weeks. And even on the things that I did forget when I was making, I made burrito tacos or whatever. I forgot like 3 things. And the morning of, and I'm just like, Walmart will have it here in 3 hours.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and started it in the crock pot. And then by the time it got there, I was like, it's not too late to add it in. It's fine.
Yeah. Not having to go to the grocery store at all, ever.
That takes
is
out
amazing.
a lot of time, right?
Yes.
The drive there, the walking around, trying to maneuver around people, trying to make it from one in the store to the other, when you could easily just do it from the palm of your hand on the comfort of your couch. It saves you so much time.
And money, because when you're in the store, you're clearly buying things that you're seeing, or your kids are driving you crazy and they're like, well, I want this and this and this. And then you're buying extra things just so you don't make them cry in the middle of the store. And it really has saved us money, I think, by doing it online as well.
I think so too, as long as I actually do it. That's part of the scheduling, which now I have it on. So Sundays are like my reset days, right? Because my calendar is so full throughout the week. And I do want to talk about like what we use to like time block and everything. But my calendar is so full through the week. I leave Saturday for family and like events and stuff, right? Because we do have friends asking us out, or, you know, the kids have a birthday party they have to attend, whatever. And then Sundays are for cleaning, grocery shopping, and just relax. I know cleaning doesn't sound relaxing, but I try to get it done like as quickly as possible so that I can relax, and family time, like watching movies in the evenings and stuff. So now I've time blocked to to order my groceries, because I won't. It stresses me out to think about it. So I just put it on my calendar in like an hour. And you're right. I sit down with my coffee and like, so I make it enjoyable. I get comfortable on the couch. I have my coffee. I have the fireplace on and something going on in the background, like show wise or movie wise. And then I start doing it, because then I feel in my comfort zone and I can.
Yep. Yes, I agree. I make it enjoyable for myself, because I'm just going to say nobody likes going to the grocery store. Maybe you do, and that's good for you.
You're a psycho.
But I don't. I really don't. I would so much rather be doing so many other things.
Yeah.
And I always, always, always bring my kids into all of my chores. And a lot of the time that does take extra time to teach them to do all those things, right? And I really think that's the thing that we all struggle with, is teaching our kids to do this thing, to take it off of our plate. It's so hard and it's so annoying. Let's just be honest.
Yes.
You are so frustrated. You end up yelling at them multiple times and you're just pissed by the end of it. But once they figure out how to do it, it really is worth it. And so when we're like
training process that just, you start to question yourself on whether you even want to do this or not.
Yeah.
Like,
whoever said being a mom is not a job is insane, because I can train like you've never seen. And I can, organize and schedule things. Like it's just insane. And to have the patience to be able to do it really is hard as well.
It's key to getting it done. Yeah.
Yep. So whenever you have like a chore or something that you really think that your kids could be doing, like have them do it. Have them bring the groceries inside and put it away. Teach them how to put the groceries away. Like we've been working on that, and it's so nice. And is it perfect? No, but who cares anymore?
Choose your battles at that point. Like the fact that they did it, like praise them for that.
Yeah.
Right. Because the kids did. I had a Walmart order and I was upstairs doing work or something. I'm like, hey, can you guys bring that in? And they put it all away without me even asking. And I was like, I come downstairs to put it away and it's all away. And I'm like,
that's a small win, right?
Yes.
Because how many times did you have to probably yell at them to put it away, or yell at them because they weren't listening, or
just to come out and help me with the groceries half the time?
Like have the respect for the parent to do this, because as parents, we just feel like we have to take on every little thing, and you really, really don't. Like, I mean, back in the day when, life was different, the kids were recruited to help with chores, and now they're not.
People were having more kids to do more of their chores. Like,
Yes.
especially if you lived on land or something like that. Like the more kids you had, the easier it was to run your land.
Yes. And it only makes sense. So make them get off the TV or whatever they're doing and get up and help you. Because I can't take that. If they're sitting there watching TV and I'm doing all of this stuff,
the
that
kids,
drives me insane.
At least in our house, the kids know like their room, their bathroom, their clothes. Like they fold their clothes and they switch them in the laundry. They're responsible for that. And while mom's cleaning the kitchen and like the downstairs and stuff, they're doing that. If they made a mess anywhere else, I'm like, you clean that up. You left toys all downstairs sprawled out and Nerf bullets are everywhere. Like you're picking that up. That's your mess. Do that.
And I actually have, so going into the programs or things that we use to like get our kids involved in this, I actually created a checklist. And that's not hard. Type it on your computer and print it up. You know, if your kids can't read, just use pictures. Or that's what I do. My son is 4. He does his own laundry, and that is folding it and putting it away in his drawers.
And it's so cute to see him do it because he does a good job folding.
Sam, I will say, is like super, he's like me. He's nitpicky and clean, and Peyton's not. So hers is kind of like just shoved in there.
Crumpled up together.
As long as she's doing it, I don't care.
I mean, if she wants to go to school with wrinkly clothes, so be it.
I mean, when they get up in the morning, they brush their hair, they brush their teeth, they do their hair, they get their own breakfast, they make their own lunch. Like I really don't do much of anything other than getting myself ready. And it's because I've trained them to do those things.
And just like checking to make sure that they got ready.
Yes. Yeah. And if they need help, obviously they come and ask me. It's not like, you're like, that's unacceptable, you know, or sometimes I'll get up early and do it for them because then it feels like I love doing that for them, you know, or I love them because I did that. It's not, oh, mom's got this because that's her job. It's something nice that I did for them and then they'll return the favor.
I remember last school year, I was talking about how every morning I was coming down and they know what they're supposed to be doing for the morning routine, Gracie and Julius in particular. And I remember complaining to you because I'm like, every time I come downstairs, like this or that isn't done, or they forgot to do this. And you printed up checklists to put on Gracie's door, on Julius's door, and then downstairs by the kitchen where they go. And it's still hanging up. And Julius has added things to it because he's like, Feedzilla, which is his gecko. And then he put on there, like, do his Japanese lesson or whatever because he enjoyed having that checklist there.
And I have like a portion. So in our kitchen, we have this little wall next to our pantry. And there's no wall space there. It is covered with paper of like morning checklists, afternoon after school checklists, and then bedtime checklists. And then there's things that you could pack for lunch I've definitely made a system to where they can do those things because they're kids and they're not going to remember everything. Even if it's something simple like getting your shoes on before you walk out the door, for whatever reason, it just like leaves their brain because they're just trying to get out or whatever. So having the checklist there and a visual aid is obviously going to help them. And Peyton is super good about helping your brother too, which I'm thankful for. But
so is Julius. Julius is he's really like a sweetheart when it comes to that. And he has a soft spot for helping other people. So he does a great job of that. And the kids having that checklist, like there has been such an improvement, such an improvement. Now they don't go through the checklist because it's just habit. It is really habit now. Like, they don't go over to see it. They did for the first couple of weeks, maybe even months. Like I would see them going up like, okay, did I do all of this?
And I will say like a little warning there. My checklists, it sounds like they're extensive.
No,
they're not. It's maybe 5 things for each like slot of time. Stick with like 3 to 5 items because they are kids and they can't do everything, right?
No.
You know? And like one of our boxes has brush, hair, and teeth, and I put it together, and that's one item, you know. So don't make it too long, or else then they're like
overwhelmed. I have so much to do.
But my son and Peyton, they get up every morning. They're like, I'm on number 3. And I'm like, okay, that's like, you know, it's 8 o'clock. That's good timing. Yeah, you know, and I know where they're at. So really, really useful tip there. Definitely do that. Print it out or write it out. It doesn't have to be pretty. Just stick it on the wall and let your kids handle their own stuff.
Dry erase, marker board, printing it, coloring it out, whatever works for you. And then for us adults, we both use Google Calendars.
Yes.
Right? You do too?
Yes. Okay. I use Google Calendar. There's nothing out there better, in my opinion. I think it really is the best. And time blocking the schedule. So I have like my morning routine, and then I put in my notes like what I need to be doing. And once I get my routine down, then, you know, like I said, it's not in there all the time, but I know that that's what I should be doing, you know?
Yep.
And it really helps you get into a really good habit. And then your day, especially if you have a work day, you know, especially like you have appointments and things, like you've got to time block your lunch, most importantly, so you have time to yourself.
Yeah.
And if you're a mom that stays at home, same thing, like prep time to make your kids lunch, and then time block lunch for yourself, because you deserve lunch for yourself too, even if you're at home. So.
I'm to the point, I know not everyone does this, but I time block time for my husband.
There you go.
I
see it.
I know it pops up 7. It pops up at 7, but it's for 7:30 because I have a 30-minute like reminder. 7 o'clock every night. Put phone down, turn it off, talk to Jared, because I get so caught up in my day and the kids and this and that sometimes for me my love language is words of affirmation, like communication, talking, and I have to get everything off my chest about the day. And Jared is the opposite. He likes to listen, but he does not like talking about his day, really. I mean, he does, but he doesn't. Like, especially if it's been a bad day, he's like, I don't want to talk about it. It's done with. It's over. Where when I have a bad day, I'm like, you got to hear every ounce of this because I got to get it off my chest. And so
the time blocking is so important when you have a spouse or partner that is opposite of you. And probably they are, right? Because opposites attract, and we don't have the same love languages. And putting the effort in to make time for their love language is going to only make your relationship better, for sure. And like my husband has a Google Calendar, and I will send him. So if I create an event, like this is Peyton's cheer practice or whatever, and then you can just add their email, and then it's on both of your calendars. You both know you need to be there. Because we would get in these arguments, like and I'm like, gosh, she has cheer every Thursday. Like, why is this hard to believe, you know, or understand or remember? And he's like, well, I don't know. And so I got him a calendar, and now, I mean, it's ridiculous of me to expect him to remember everything, just like I can't remember everything, right? So now we're both on the same page, and we remember when all of this stuff's supposed to happen.
Yep.
So.
You want to hear the awful part? Jared uses, I think, Outlook or something like that calendar. I know. So I can't send him things or like tell him, like I tell him about it, but like it's so much easier. Or I know you've done it before where you'll just like send a date night. We're having a date night, like at this day, this time, this place, like surprise. It's on your calendar.
And then you just get like a little text or an email, and you're like, ooh,
I think that's
nice.
cute. Yeah, it's fun. It's nice. And yeah, like I was saying, like color coding everything too, because for me, family time, anything that's family related is blue. Anything that is coaching is orange. Anything that's real estate and sales is green. And then like our podcast I have is yellow. So when I'm looking at my calendar, it's beautiful. It's so colorful. It's like the rainbow. So
it looks so stressful. I looked at it the other day. I'm like, golly, this is too much.
I'm bad about not leaving that extra space for travel time for, and this is, here I go with the coaching things, but it's called whirlwind. These are the things that are already like part of your life. Somebody once said, it's the dog pooping on your carpet, you know, and you didn't expect it. So
that literally just happened to me 2 days ago.
Right? Like you're like, oh, I have to be out the door to grab the kids at this time. And then on your way out, boom, dog shits on the floor. And you're like, cool. That just,
not going to be on time today.
Did not expect that. Kid throwing up in the middle of the hallway, or, you know, your mom calling you and her wanting to talk to you about something. You're not going to hang up on her, right? So that's taking time out of something else that you were planning on doing. So I think accounting for those things is something I need to get better about, and realizing that I'm not going to be able to stick to every little thing. And that's
and giving yourself like 5 minutes in between things, even like just to get yourself used to it. I would book my appointment out like an extra 5 minutes. And then if I ran over, you know, I could go into the next appointment, and then I'd have 5 minutes, you know? So, and eventually I would have like hour slots, and I'd book them and expect to have an extra couple minutes, and I'd learn to cut things off when I needed to.
Mhm.
So getting yourself into the habit is really what the calendar is doing.
Yeah.
It's helping you to create a good habit for yourself and for your time and for your family's time.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, and I before I got onto Google Calendars, I was really big on the actual like drawing it out and filling it in a planner, like a
Yes.
book. And I think that's adorable when people do that. Is it practical for my lifestyle? No, because everything I do is electronic with
Mhm.
work and whatnot. But I think it is cute. Like if that's the way that you can keep yourself organized and keep yourself to a calendar, then do it, right? And I love watching those videos too of people like decorating it and making it
Yes.
look all cute and
Yeah.
uniformed. I'm like, oh, that's so satisfying. I can't live my life like that, but
No.
I'm so glad somebody else can.
yeah, knowing that I don't have to do that actually makes me happy because that's got to be
Yeah.
super time consuming. Because
It
if you have a
has to.
repeating event in your Google Calendar, you just hit repeat and then it repeats forever.
Yep.
And with, a written one,
written
you're
one.
handwriting it and then the next month comes and you're doing it all over again.
Yes. Yep.
I couldn't do that.
Oh, and I actually kind of want to get one of these. It's a big tablet that you have wherever your common space is in your house. And it's huge. It's like this big and it just has your Google Calendar on it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've seen that too. Have you seen like
Yes.
the traveling one? Can you guys imagine the traveling screen with
I
the
sent
wheels?
that to you. I'm pretty sure. And I was
As
like,
a mom, that thing
Ugh.
would be amazing. But my husband was like,
how
"Are you
extra.
kidding? I would never see
Yeah.
you. I would literally never see you."
Gosh, here I go again. Hope they can hear us. Ooh,
Just cut it out.
that's so true. I want people to hear about this like wheeling TV. I'm sure it'll go soon. But yeah, that it's so excessive. Like it's literally a TV on wheels. But I'm sitting there
It
thinking
is.
like in bed, in the tub, like
Yeah,
trying to do a meal off of YouTube, like having
Yep.
it there or having it set up in your common area for your calendar for the week or whatever. Like
Mhm.
how fun is that?
Yep. Yeah, very, very cool. But at the same time, like so stressful to have that like following you everywhere, like the calendar,
The
or
calendar
whatever.
just in your face.
Yeah, almost
Yeah.
like the watch, the watches that they have now.
Yeah.
Although I do like my watch. I almost only use it for time. I probably could just have a regular watch, to be honest. But when I was like actively doing real estate, I could not
Yeah.
imagine with it like dinging me every
Oh my
time I got
gosh.
something that would stress me out.
I-
But the rolling TV thing, it's kind of like that, right?
It
It's
is.
following you everywhere and really distracting you from things
Life.
that matter. But yeah, because there's a point where you kind of just have to let all that stuff go and be with your family. But
Yeah. But I think at the end of the day, as long as you have something that is helping keep your calendar in line, it just takes a lot of stress away, I feel like.
yes, because we've
of
all had mom
forgetting
brain.
something. Yeah.
We've all had the mom freak out moment where you have just dropped everything,
Oh.
yelled at your kids, told your husband he's worthless, and walked away. Like
Yep.
those times are so
Yeah.
hard. And of course, you don't mean the things that you're saying. You just lost it. You
Yeah.
lost it, and we don't want to live our lives that way, which is why we're here
No.
to tell you.
To get a calendar, stick to it as much as you can. Obviously, there's those whirlwind things that are going to be happening, and that's okay. But as long as you have a general one, having your kids involved in it helps tremendously. If you can get your spouse on the same link as you, I don't have that luxury yet, but if you can get your spouse to be like, it just makes everything so uniformed and so much easier, like
Mhm.
life in general. So, and I know it's helped me. I know it's helped you. And I have talked to many other, not spouses, people, men and women, about having calendars and actually using them and how it just benefits your life in so many different ways. Oh, and something else, time. Speaking of saving time, a Roomba.
Oh yeah, we.
Before we
That's
get
funny.
off here, I just had to. I'm like, those Sundays where I'm doing all my cleaning and stuff, there's quite a bit. We have all hardwood floors, so the entire thing needs to be swept.
Mhm.
And that's time consuming. But ever since we got the Roomba, I'm like, that's like 45 minutes of my day that is no longer like
Yep.
taken away from me.
Yeah, and I've
I
heard a
love
lot
that.
of people have like complaints, or you see them on Facebook for sale or whatever. And I
Mhm.
think they just don't know what they're doing because mine's great. Mine's fantastic.
Okay.
And worth every
Mhm.
dime that I spent.
Mine's a little derpy.
Oh, really?
His name's Jacques.
Ours is Rhonda.
That makes sense. Ours is Jacques from Nemo, Finding Nemo, the shrimp that cleans. But he gets lost. It's not that he doesn't do it. He does a good job, but he will forget to go home. Battery dies. Sometimes he doesn't take off when he's supposed to, but it's okay because I just click the button when I do need him to take off, and it.
Oh, ours has been great the entire time. It's scheduled. It works. It might die and go back, and then we just have to let it charge for a minute.
Yeah, mine doesn't go back home when he's dying. But we got we got a very cheap one.
Okay, I don't honestly. Husband gave it to me for a gift, so
yeah. Well, he
get one though. Either way, if you have to push the button, that's way easier than sweeping the whole dang floor.
Absolutely, that's why I'm like he's a little derpy, but it takes a lot off my plate, so accepted. But with that, I think we'll wrap it up there with the Roombas. That'll help you guys. But thanks for sticking around and listening. Hopefully, we helped somebody out there.
Yes, and if you have any questions about what to use or for tools, what tools do we use?
Yes.
Some kind of template for a checklist, anything like that, because we've got it all and we can share with you anything that you need in your everyday life.
Yep.
All right.
See ya. Bye.